Okay, Star Trek Discovery. What made you want to come on board initially?
Star Trek, right there, first two words. I love all things Trek. I'm a huge science fiction reader. I have been since I was a little kid, and the ideas in Star Trek are some of the most worthwhile ideas, I think, that are being told in all of media. The idea of a progressive, positive future. There is a ton of really interesting, dark, dystopic futures that are being told all over the place, and they're exciting as hell. I mean, I love them. Like Fallout, and I mean, there's a lot of great stuff, but very rarely is it painting a picture of a world that's significantly better than the one that we live in right now. And I've got two little kids. I've just been attracted to the idea that through science and cooperation and empathy and creativity, we can live in a world that's better than the one we've got right now. And Star Trek's one of the only places that's telling that story. And so to get the chance to play with all the filmmaking tools, as an editor, as a director, and coming in and visual effects and actors' performance and camera work and sound, and to use all those really fun tools to tell a story that's really exciting and worthwhile to tell. I'm a true believer. I drank the Kool-Aid. I love it.
Star Trek's about to turn 60 very soon, which is amazing. Now, there's obviously a very strong brand. They have a very strong image of what Star Trek should be. But Discovery, to me, is also one of the more interesting shows that lets you kind of honor that, but also deviate. How do you feel about the balance between honoring Star Trek brand, but also doing the creativity you guys get to do on Discovery?
Yeah, I think, it's been a long time since there's been. When Discovery was new, it had been about 10 years at least since Enterprise, I think, at that point. And there had been kind of a dearth of episodic television Star Trek. And obviously, television is where Star Trek started. And during those 10 years, I think the medium made some major leaps in terms of its evolution of storytelling. And so by the time Star Trek Discovery was getting ready to launch, so to speak, you had... in the zeitgeist, you had serialized storytelling was really becoming the norm, and you had these really rich character-driven dramas that were out in the world, and the idea of the episodic story of the week was becoming less and less prevalent. And so I think that Star Trek Discovery came in with a really exciting and interesting character-centric idea of this. We're going to take this character who's not the captain yet, and we're going to go on her journey of going from a crew member to a mutineer, to a prisoner, to a first officer, to a captain. I mean, really, she went on this whole journey, and the audience went with her. But that was very different from what Star Trek had done before, because Star Trek had always been episodic. It had been, the ship and the crew, and we're encountering something alien and weird, and we're going to solve this problem every week. And so I think Discovery played with that. I do think that one of the things that came out of Discovery was obviously, as much as I love the show, and I think the audience enjoyed it, I think the Strange New Worlds evolved out of the filmmaking of Star Trek Discovery, because I think the filmmakers and I think people at Paramount and the filmmakers involved said, there is still very much an appetite for the episodic, or a more episodic story of like, let's deal with a catastrophe of the week. Right. And so, but it's interesting because I think Discovery sort of took the evolution of where storytelling was and told its version, and then from that evolved sort of a hybrid, which I think is what, I haven't worked on Strange New Worlds, so I can only speak about it as a fan, but Strange New Worlds is very much a combination of episodic and serialized storytelling.
Nice. So the finale, you got to do the finale. How was that, saying goodbye to the show and wrapping everything up?
There were a lot of tears. The director on that episode, Olatunde, is one of my mentors. He's a friend. He's just a brilliant guy. And he was our directing producer for the whole run of Discovery. And he was very much a father figure. I mean, I think Olatunde and Alex are both, they both kind of are father figures for the whole show. And then you had Sonequa, who I'm in awe of her, honestly, as a person. She's like you turn the cameras off and you get her. She has so much integrity and so much talent and so much kindness that you had a very kind and considerate and loving set, I'd go so far as to say, and crew. So that final episode was kind of heartbreaking because to work in television, you don't always get a crew and a cast that, by and large, are all just wonderful people that you want to spend all your time with anyway. And to have that be the final episode, it was wonderful because it was a celebration. But I think we were heartbroken to be done telling the story of Discovery in general, because it was something that we all loved, but also the chance to work with those people on a daily basis. And a lot of them we'll still interact with and work together on other projects, but that family broke up a little bit, and it was sad. It really, there really were tears.